Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy 27 Vision. I come to you live right now. I want to talk about the NBA free agency right now. In my opinion, this is one of the biggest free agency years that I have seen, that we have seen in a while, sometime. Okay. There were quite a few season moves. By the way, shout out to the OKC Thunder, who are the new NBA champions. Um, when they made those trades for Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein, and a healthy Chet, I knew they had a great chance of winning the championship. I just didn't know it was going to be this soon. I will say, if this team stays together and this team stays healthy, they have a shot at repeating as champions. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is talk about each team in the NBA and their moves. Right, I'm going to do it in ABC order. I do know that some teams are irrelevant and some teams are, right? So let's start with the Atlanta Hawks, right? The Atlanta Hawks started off, 40 and 42. They did make the play in, but they did not last long. They did not go to the playoffs. They was ninth in the Eastern Conference. Um, I do like what they did in bringing Trey Young, Kristaps Porzingis. I don't think that's enough, though. I don't think that's enough. What really ticks me off is 2021 when Trey Young had, enough help, and they eventually let people like Bogdan Bogdanovic go, John Collins go. I mean, that team was good, man. But you just can't do that and build upon Trey if you let all these players go like this. So, they did have some additions to the team. Nickeil Alexander Walker agrees to a 4-year deal with the Hawks, and they also has Luke Kennard, who is signed for 1 year. And the biggest offseason move was Kristaps Porzingis for the Hawks through a three-team trade. Now, the people that left the Atlanta Hawks is Clint Capella, Karis LeVert, Larry Nance Jr., Georges Niang, Terrence Mann. Would this be enough to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference? It may be, because if you look at the Eastern Conference right now, you do have quite a few injuries, right? You do have the Boston Celtics that are injured with Jason Tatum out. Do I think they'll be better than Boston? No, I do not. I think Boston would still, with Derek White, Jalen Brown. I do think that's still enough to make the playoffs. The Indiana Pacers, do I think they could be better than Indiana Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton? Possibly. Now let's go to Boston. Those of you know that Boston took a big hit with the injury of Jason Tatum. The additions to that team is Georges Niang, Luca Garza, Josh Minette, and Anthony Simons. Anthony Simons would be the biggest offseason move that the Celtics would do this year. The key departures, though, is very, very tough. I don't understand how we couldn't get True Holiday signed back. He's gone to the Blazers. Luke Cornett is gone, and Kristaps Porzingis is gone. Do I think the Boston Celtics have a shot? I mean, if you have Jalen Brown, who is a Friends top 15 player in the world, you do have a chance of making the playoffs. I'm just saying. And Derek White is one of the best point guards in the NBA. So, and they do have championship experience. By the way, Al Horford is gone too as well. A lot of people trying to get Al Horford. We will see where he goes. Okay, the Brooklyn Nets. I don't really care about the Brooklyn Nets, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Brooklyn Nets are gonna suck. It doesn't matter. They're not gonna make the playoffs. They signed Day'Ron Sharp and Zaire Williams. They also have Terrence Mann and Michael Porter Jr., which Michael Porter Jr. would probably be the best player on their team, possibly. And Nicholas Claxton is on their team as well. Um, the key departures was D'Angelo Russell, Trendon Waitford, and Cam Johnson. Okay. Now let's go to the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets, another non-playoff team. By the way, this is my third non-playoff team, my second non-playoff team in a row. Okay. The Charlotte Hornets added Trey Mann, Pat Connaughton, and Spencer Dinwiddie with a Mason Plumlee and Colin Sexton. That's not enough, y'all. It really doesn't matter. It's not enough. The key departures was Vinceli Mikic, Yusuf Nurkic, and Mark Williams. Those are all the three players that left the team. Do I think they're going to be good? No. Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have Trey Jones, Isaac Okoro. The key departure was Lonzo Ball. The Bulls, I think they should just tank. The Chicago Bulls haven't been a good franchise since Derrick Rose, and that was just for a short period of time. They will never win another championship in this era ever, bro. Michael Jordan did so much for that Chicago Bulls franchise, and a lot of LeBron fans like to say that the Bulls was a good franchise before Jordan came. No, the fuck they wasn't. That is a damn lie. Okay, so let's go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now I'm gonna tell y'all about this team right here. This team right here, the Cleveland Cavaliers, should be an all-season favorite to make the NBA Finals. You sign Lonzo Ball, and you sign Larry Nance Jr., and you also sign Sam Merrill. You let go of Ty Jerome and Isaac Okoro, which is not a big hit when you have Lonzo Ball and Larry Nance. In my opinion, I do think that this team will be one of the best teams in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the defensive player of the year, when you look at the guard play from the Cleveland Cavaliers, this team will be one of the best teams in the NBA, no doubt about it. Um, that's just how I feel, man. I like Donovan Mitchell. The only thing about it is his shot selection. If Donovan Mitchell get better shot selection, what I think Lonzo Ball would help them get into the offense, I think this would be better. For the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, when we look at the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, right? The Cleveland Cavaliers have a decent roster. When you look at it, they have Darius Garland at the point guard, Donovan Mitchell at the shooting guard, Matt Strus, Evan Mobley, and Jerry Allen. Now, their bench players would be Lonzo Ball, DeAndre Hunter, Deion Wade, and Larry Nance Jr. If this team stay healthy, they do have a shot at making the finals. Now, let's go to the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of people are saying that this team will come out the West. Do I think they would come out the West healthy? If they are healthy, you cannot tell me that a healthy Kyrie, a healthy AD, and also Cooper Flag on that team would not make the finals. It would be hard for me to understand the closer that Kyrie is, the defensive master that AD is, that this team can't make the finals. Okay. What they re-signed Dante Essom, and they agreed to re-sign Kyrie Irving in a 3-year extension. Now, D'Angelo Russell was kind of like, he's there until Kyrie gets there. Once Kyrie gets there, he's back on the bench. And will he be productive on the bench? Yes, I do. Do I think them losing Spencer Dinwiddie will hurt them? No, I do not. I think D'Angelo Russell will be a good player, key addition off the bench as soon as Kyrie get back. Um, when we look at this team, they got Daniel Gafford off the bench, Dante Exum, Max Christie, and PJ Washington. Now let's go to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets. I love these moves in this offseason that the Denver Nuggets took place, right? What the Denver Nuggets bring you, right? They bring back Bruce Brown, they bring Cam Johnson, they bring Tim Hardaway Jr. and Jonas Valanciunas. Word is out that Jonas Valanciunas is trying to join a Greek team, and the Denver Nuggets are expecting Jonas Valanciunas to stick to his word and play for the Nuggets this season. Key departures was Michael Porter Jr. and Dario Saric. I really believe that the Nuggets get better. In 2023, I felt that Bruce Brown was a key player on that team that helped take the pressure off of Jamal Murray, bring the ball up down the court. And we talking about a very good slasher, a very good hustle player. In my opinion, Bruce Brown is one of the best hustle players in the NBA. And that's just not me glazing. I'm just saying, like, when you look at the 50-50 balls, I wish there was a stat for 50-50 balls. Bruce Brown is getting those 50-50 balls. Now, what I will say, in this starting lineup, you have Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. Now, Bruce Brown used to get more minutes when he was on Denver, more minutes than Christian Brown. Now, that would be interesting to see who's going to get more minutes now that Bruce Brown is back, between Bruce Brown and Christian Brown. And Christian Brown. Okay. Um. Now let's go to the Detroit Pistons. Okay. Now this is very interesting right here. The Detroit Pistons was 6th in the Eastern Conference. They finished the season 44-38. I think they surprised a lot of people. Cade Cunningham emerges as one of the best guards in the NBA. Um, you could argue that he was a top 15 player in the NBA this year. What the Detroit Pistons did, shout out to Detroit basketball. Um, Paul Reed returns on a 2-year deal. The additions are Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson. I think the best addition was Duncan Robinson. The reason why, because the Detroit Pistons didn't have that many guys knocking down threes, and that's what Duncan Robinson will bring to you. He's on the 3-year deal, signing trade. Now they did let go of Dennis Schroeder and Tim Hardaway Jr. All right, now let's go to Golden State Warriors. This, my friends, is a playoff team. They did not add anybody, but they did let go of Kevon Looney. Now, when we look at Golden State, their starting five is Stephen Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond. Um, I think they need to get bigger. Pause. When you look at this Golden State team, whoever they played in the playoffs, they're going to get beat on the boards, and they're going to get beat down low. Pause. Whew, pause again. This team is too small, man. That's the problem. I like the guard play on this team, but Draymond Green, the older he gets, the worse he gets. He is not going to be able to defend these tall. Like, let's say they play Dallas, for instance. Dallas is going to out rebound them, and they're going to shoot better from the field because they're going to take easier shots, getting the ball down low to Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, and AD. If they don't sign a big center in free agency or before the season starts, they could be struggling a little bit. They would have to depend a lot on the three ball. Now their bench have Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. I love Jonathan Kuminga, but my problem with him is his basketball IQ. He depends so much on his athleticism. You know, it's just not the same, man. I mean, you got to be a better basketball player than depend on your. He remind me of no, he doesn't remind me of Westbrook, but like the way he plays, like brother, some things you don't need to do on a basketball court. You don't need to be forcing dumbass shots. You don't need to be forcing dumbass layups when you got guys under the paint waiting on you and you forcing shit. Make the smart basketball play. Okay. Now, everybody is excited about this Houston Rockets team. And in my opinion, this Houston Rockets team is one of the most deepest rosters in the NBA. Okay. You got players on this team that have finals experience. You got players on this team that have playoff experience. I'm talking about Fred VanVleet, finals experience back in 2019. Then you got young emerging talent in Amon Thompson, Tari Eason, Kevin Durant, finals experience, and Alfred Sengun, one of the best centers in the NBA. Now the bench is pretty deep, guys. You got Jabari Smith, Aaron Holiday, Reed Shepard, Steven Adams, Dora Finley-Smith, Jabari Smith. I'm sorry, I already said Jabari Smith, but Clint Capella, Jeff Green, and Jason Tate. That is one of the deepest rosters in the NBA. I'm gonna just say it like that. Okay. So what they did was they re-signed Steven Adams, Aaron Holiday, Jeff Green, Jabari Smith, Jason Tate, and Fan Fleet. Now what they added was Clint Capella, Kevin Durant, Dorian Finley-Smith. They let go of Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Jock Landale, and Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore goes to the Wizards. Indiana Pacers is another interesting team. This team caught everybody by storm in the playoffs. I didn't think they would make it this far to the finals. They finished the season 50-32. But what I did learn that since the All-Star break, this is one of the best teams in the NBA. They had the best record in the NBA since the All-Star break. So they got hot at the right time. And sometimes in NBA history, you have those teams that get hot at the right time. Like the Houston Rockets back in 1994. They got hot at the right time. Okay. The key additions is Jay Huff. This team let go of Miles Turner. They should they make the playoffs with this team? Let's see. You got Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Martin, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, Tony Bradley. Now, do I think they're going to make the playoffs? I think they could possibly miss the playoffs with this team because Tyrese Halliburton is out. You let go of Miles Turner, which I think is one of the most overrated centers in the NBA, by the way. But I don't think this team is good enough. They're not going to be in the top of the East anymore until maybe Tyrese Halliburton come back healthy. All right. So now let's go to the Clippers. Now this team right here, y'all, this team is about star power, right? You got Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. Okay. Now they did sign Brook Lopez. and John Collins. So Nicholas Batum is back as well. So the starting five is James Harden, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., Kawhi, and Ibaka Zubac. Zubac is one of the best defenders in the NBA when we look at rim protection and paint defense. So I think that Brook Lopez coming off the bench will help them. Um, I just want to know like who is going to be the guard coming off the bench. Like it's not going to be Norman Powell. He's gone to Houston. I mean, he's gone to Miami. So now the guys that's on the bench is Bojan Bogdanovic, John Collins, Brook Lopez, and Nicholas Batum. Now this team, they should make the playoffs. And ladies and gentlemen, the trash ass Los Angeles Lakers. When we look at LeBron James, man, like how much help can this guy need? LeBron James get to play with his ninth number one overall pick in his NBA career. They got the chance to sign DeAndre Ayton. And everybody knows DeAndre Ayton is probably a top 10 center in the NBA. You already have Luka. How much help do you need, LeBron? This team should make the playoffs. You got a start lineup of Luka, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton. So I would be disappointed if this team don't make the playoffs. I'm just putting it like this. If this team don't make the playoffs, man, it would be a disappointing season because this team has a lot of talent on this team in the NBA. That's just how it is, bro. We have to accept the fact that LeBron James is too old. He needs to go home. I'm telling you, man. When we look at the Lakers, bro, I thought they said Lakers in 5 last year, and then when they actually lost in 5, everybody want to make excuses. Like, come on, man. Stop them damn excuses. The Lakers are not winning no championship, bro. As long as LeBron on that team, the only time they won when it was a bubble, a short season. All right, Memphis. You got a star lineup. Ja Morant, KCP comes for Orlando because Orlando traded KCP for Desmond Bain. You got Jalen Wills, Jaren Jackson, and Zach Edey. All right. On the bench, you got Ty Jerome, Brandon Clark, and Scottie Pippen. All right. Miami Heat. Miami Heat might well say they're going through a rebuild, bro. It's different nowadays. Do I think the Miami Heat gonna win the playoff? Go to the playoffs? Hell no. This team possibly can't even make the playoffs. I mean, to play in. You might well say they let go their whole squad, and all they got is Bam. Duncan Robinson gone. Jimmy Butler gone. I mean, goddamn, Kevin Love gone. It's over, bro. They don't want nobody there in Miami. And Miami fans are talking about getting rid of Pat Riley. First of all, bro, if Pat Riley leaves, it's over for Miami franchise. If Pat Riley leaves, the Miami Heat franchise will never be good again because that man is the heart and soul of that franchise when we talk about in that front office. So the starting five is Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, Kel Elware. Coming off the bench, Davion Mitchell, Haywood Highsmith, Nikola Jokic, and Terry Rozier. That is not enough to make the playoffs, folks. Coming at next is Milwaukee Bucks. Now, guys, I'm going to tell y'all right now, the Milwaukee Bucks does not look like a team where Giannis is going to stay. If you Giannis Antetokounmpo, when you look at this team, everybody gone. You had Chris Middleton. He gone. You had Drew Holiday. He gone. You had Brook Lopez. He gone. You also had Malcolm Brogdon. I'm gonna have Malcolm Brogdon. He gone too. Like, brother, they are not keeping nobody around Giannis, bro. This is a whole new team. Everybody in the starting five is new outside of Giannis. The starting five consists of Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Giannis, and Miles Turner. This is not a championship roster, y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I really think Giannis is gonna leave because everybody is new. When you look at the history of the NBA, when you have these different dynasties, the dynasties kept their core players. The Bucks did not keep their core players. They're gone. Even Dame is gone. They waived his ass because I knew Dame was overrated anyway. Because Dame had a chance to play with one of the best players in the world and win a championship. Because you got these Dame fans out there that saying he's better than Kyrie. Well, Kyrie won next to LeBron. Why couldn't Dame win next to Giannis? Why couldn't Dame even perform like Kyrie did next to LeBron? He did not. Okay? I think Giannis is gone. Do I think he's going to go to state? He got a chance because Go to State did not try to get nobody just yet. They're waiving everybody. They're letting everybody go to try to build cap space on their team. And the Bucks have a whole new roster, whole new starting five outside of Giannis. So it's gonna make sense if Giannis leaves. That's just how it is, bro. Coming up next, Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, do I think this is one of the best teams in the West? Yes, I do. Do I think they're gonna make a finals run? No, I do not. Um, I don't think they have enough. When you look at the other West teams, this team is not powerful enough to make a deep playoff run like the other teams, like the Rockets, the Mavs, the Nuggets, and the OKC. They don't have enough. Okay. Now, what I will tell you is this team is pretty good. I mean, they're gonna be fun to watch. Anytime when Ant Edwards is on the court, I just think this team is fun to watch. Now, the starting five: Mike Conley, Ant, Jalen McDaniels, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. On the bench, Dante DiVincenzo, Max Reed, Rob Dillingham, Joe Ingles. All right. Now, one of my favorite teams is the New Orleans Pelicans. Why? Well, I mean, I'm a huge New Orleans Saints fan, so it's making sense that I'm a Pelican fan as well. I'm going to say this right now. It's over for Zion. He got to go. CJ McCollum is gone again, gone to the Wizards. I mean, like, do y'all even know the starting five on this team, bro? Like, it's like every year there's a new roster for the Pelicans. Now the Pelicans have DeJounte Murray, right? Jordan Poole, right? Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, and Uvis Missy. Herod Jones off the bench, Sadiq Bey off the bench, Jose Alvarado off the bench, and Kevon Looney off the bench. Bro, it's like the Pelicans get worse every year, bro. Bro, not too many, like a couple years ago, we were just in the playoffs, bro. We had a decent team. And just like we get worse and worse and worse. Ever since Brandon Ingram gone, we get worse and worse. That's just how it is, bro. We just get worse. Now, we used to have Bruce Brown, he gone. CJ McCullough gone. Kelly Olynyk gone. Now, the New York Knicks, everybody. When I tell you that the East is wide open, the East is wide open. In my opinion, the Knicks and the Knicks, the Orlando Magic, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are the best three teams in the Eastern Conference right now, based on what I have seen. Those are the best teams. Now, Giannis might be the best player in the East, of course, but he's not on the best team. The best team is the New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Orlando Magic. Starting five for the Knicks: Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. Now, what I do like is that they added Jordan Clarkson. That is going to be immediate offense coming off the bench. Okay, you also got Miles McBride off the bench, Gershon Yubasele, the guy that dunked on LeBron in the Olympics, and you have Mitchell Robinson. That is a nice team, folks, to make the NBA Finals for next year because the East is not as strong as it was last year. The OKC Thunder, the defending champs OKC Thunder. When I tell you this team right here surprised a lot of folks, it did. This team right here won 68 games last year. When you talk about a dominant team in the NBA, this was the OKC Thunder. The OKC Thunder currently, in my opinion, has the best player in the world in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Because it's hard for me to understand he's not the best player in the world. He should be. He just outplayed the quote-unquote former best player in the world in the playoff series, Nikola Jokic. And he's the first person since Shaq to win Finals MVP, and scoring title in the same season. And they won 69 games. Think about that. All right, now we got SGA, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet, Isaiah Harnstein in the starting five. On the bench, Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins. Now, did they make any additions? No. Did they have a departure? Yes. Dylan Jones. Is he a huge factor? No. So I like what the Thunder did. They kept their core and they're en route of having another historical season. So OKC Thunder right now is the best team in the NBA, hands down so far. The Orlando Magic, my second favorite team. Orlando Magic, I love what they did in getting Desmond Bain. Before this trade, I used to say that Orlando Magic need an elite guard, one of the best. They need a very good guard in the NBA to actually compete. Paulo Banchero got to have some help from the guard play. And I did not think KCP or Jalen Suggs was good enough to do that. Okay. So when they added Desmond Bain in the offseason, I felt that that was beneficial for Paulo and the Orlando Magic. Because what this guy is going to give you, he's going to give you pretty good defense and very good shooting in the offense. Um, they also added Tyrus Jones, the backup point guard. Um, they also re-signed Mo Wagner. The key departures was Cole Anthony. They didn't really need him. KCP, he's gone, and Gary Harris. Like I told y'all earlier when I was talking about the Knicks, this is one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference due to injuries. Okay. Next we have the Philadelphia 76ers. This team missed the playoffs last year, y'all. When I tell you this team was freaking garbage, this team was garbage and horrible to watch. This team was so horrible to watch, bro. Like we got Tyrese Maxey out there playing street ball, and we got Joel Embiid out there in street clothes. This team has more talent than you think. When you consist of a starting five, right? The starting five consists of Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, and Joel Embiid. And then their bench have Kelly Oubre, Justin Edwards, Kyle Lowry, Andre Drummond, Eric Gordon, and Aiden Bonner. Should this team be in the playoffs every year? Yes, they should. When you have a player like Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey, why are you not making the playoffs? I understand Joel Embiid was hurt, but this is a new season. This team should make the playoffs, especially since the Eastern Conference is hobbled right now. You have a chance. Now, let's go to the Phoenix Suns. Everybody know about the Phoenix Suns, what they did, getting rid of Kevin Durant, and they added, well, actually they got rid of Kevin Durant, Tyrese Jones, Cody Martin, Mason Plumlee, and they added Colin Gillespie, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Nigel Hayes Davis, and Mark Williams. When you look at the starting five, what you got? You got Devin Booker, you got Jalen Green, Bradley Beal, Dylan Brooks, and Mark Williams. Off the bench, you got Ty Washington and Russ O'Neal. Do I think this team good enough to make the playoffs? They couldn't even make the playoffs with Kevin Durant on the roster. Do I believe they're gonna make the playoffs with him not on the roster? Hell no. This team is pretty much cooked, and they might well say, go through a rebuild. This team is cooked, bro. Now we had a Portland Trailblazer, another terrible team. I guarantee you right now, when DeAndre Ayton found out that he was going to leave the Portland Trailblazers and go to the Lakers, I bet he was jumping for joy, jumping the roof. Because this team was so terrible to watch, bro. They play absolutely no defense. All right? I feel bad for Chauncey Billups, the coach, because I know Chauncey Billups is a good basketball mind. But this team just don't have enough talent. Like, this team is going through a rebuild. Getting True Holiday was a good addition to the team, but, like, brother, Anthony Simon's gone and DeAndre Ayton. You have no playoff aspirations. Garrett Temple ain't going to do shit. Y'all ain't got enough. Sacramento Kings. Okay. Guys, this team right here. Okay. What I noticed a couple years ago was when they let go of De'Aaron Fox. Then they added the Bulls back court. They added DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Like, why the fuck y'all add them? You not see what they did in Chicago? They did the same thing again. I could have told you that. I don't have to be a millionaire to tell you that shit wasn't going to work. And you guys wasn't going to make the playoffs. And you're not going to make the playoffs again. Adding Dennis Schroeder and Dario Saric ain't going to do shit. Y'all going to be sorry. Your best player is Sabonis. And I think Sabonis is going to be gone pretty soon anyway, the next free agency or some kind of trade anyway. So expect this team to miss the play-in and miss the playoffs. San Antonio Spurs. The key addition was Luke Kennett. Now the good news for the Spurs is you have De'Aaron Fox on the team and you have Wemby. You don't have much of a bench, but at least you have something to look forward to and build around. Okay, that's what I will say about the San Antonio Spurs. It's the Western Conference is too deep for them to make the playoffs. Toronto Raptors, the fucking baby dinosaurs. Will they make the playoffs? Hell no. Do I want to talk about them? Hell no, I don't. They're gonna be garbage. When Jacob Porter is your best key addition, that's how you know you're not gonna do shit. The Utah Jazz. Now, key additions in Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love, and Yuko Nurkic. John Collins is gone, Kyle Sexton is gone, and Jordan Clarkson gone. Another lottery team. Washington Wizards, another lottery team. CJ McCollum is added to the team. Dylan Jones added, Kelly Olynyk, and Cam Whitmore. That's not good enough. No playoffs. Those are all the teams of the NBA that I have covered with y'all. This shit is too easy. Now, in the Eastern Conference, let's recap on what I said. In the Eastern Conference, I think the three best teams right now are the Orlando Magic, which is the third best team in the East, in my opinion. The second best team in the East is probably the New York Knicks or between the Cavs. I think that's just a toss-up between those two teams. Now, as far as the Western Conference, the top five teams everybody should have at the same top five. The Thunder, the Nuggets, the Mavericks, the Rockets, and possibly the Lakers. But the top four teams are a lock. I'm gonna tell you right now. The top four teams are a lock. Now from 5 through 10, I mean, it can go either or, man. It just depends on who's healthy this year. Okay. In my favorites on who's gonna win the NBA championship, OKC Thunder. I like what they did in keeping their core, and they didn't get rid of nobody. So, and they have the best player in the world so far. So, I do think that that's going to be the story of the next season in the 2026 season. I do like what Denver did though. Denver, I love it. I really do. When you get back Bruce Brown and then you get Tim Hardaway Jr., I think that was pretty good. The dark horse in the West is the Dallas Mavericks. The dark horse. When Kyrie Irving is healthy, and you have a healthy Anthony Davis and a healthy Klay Thompson, and you also just added the number one overall pick in Cooper Flag, who a lot of people are comparing to if LeBron and Kevin Garnett had a baby, you get Cooper Flag. That's fine. Even though I don't have those kind of comparisons for him, I do think he's going to have a good career if he's healthy. But will he make an immediate impact? I don't know. We'll see. So y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think, bro. This is my prediction on the NBA and the free agency trades of the 2025 offseason. Y'all have a good day.